Hi, this is Julie Campbell with Two Peas in a Bucket, and welcome to this month's Trendy Trios class. This month's theme is all about confetti. With Christmas and New Year's around the corner, I thought it'd be fun to focus on this trend. For our first card, I'm going to be using this pattern paper. It's from Amy Tangerine's new cut and paste collection. And I just love the confetti print that's already on the pattern paper. So I'm just going to trim that down to size. And now I'm just going to start layering some different elements. This is a gold doily that I had in my stash. You might want to look for something similar at a craft store or maybe even in the baking section of a craft store. You can find all kinds of different varieties of doilies in that area. So I've just adhered that down and now I've trimmed off the excess. This is a little packet of vintage supplies. It's from Two Peas in a Bucket, and it comes with a variety of different things. These tickets I thought looked just really fun, and the colors coordinated really well with the pattern paper, so I'm going to pull those out to use on my card. Just to add another element, I'm using a little these bitty bags that you can find in the shop, and it doesn't really have any functional component for the card that I'm using today, but I did like just the added pattern and then just an extra layer on my card. So I'm just going to fold down the bottom of that bag. And then I'm going to take one of these vintage tickets and go ahead and adhere that down. These are some three-dimensional stickers. They're from Maggie Holmes' Flea Market collection. So I'm just trying to decide which of the different elements would look good on the card front. And I like this butterfly that's here on the top corner, but with the two greens together, the green in the butterfly and the green in the ticket, it was just a little too much green in one spot. So I'm going to go ahead and layer these pink tickets over the green tickets. And that also brings out just another color from the confetti paper. So these little die cuts, they are three-dimensional like I mentioned, and they come with a little foam sticker on the back, so they're really easy to apply and use on your projects. This is a stamp set from Jelly Bean Soup. And I'm going to be using one of these little word bubbles to create a sentiment for my card. So I'm just adhering that stamp onto an acrylic block and then using some VersaFine ink to ink that up. I really wanted this sentiment to stand out, so I decided to go with black. So I just trimmed around that little word bubble. And then I'm going to use some additional foam adhesive to give it some dimension and add that to my card front. So now I want to add some lines of stitching and then trim the edge of my card just a bit. These are some mini badges. They're from Studio Calico's new print shop collection, and they're a little bit smaller than the traditional badges that you might be used to, which I think are perfect for when you're using them on cards because with the smaller scale, they just look really nice. So this one had the black and the green that we've already used in the card, so I thought it would be just a nice addition to the center of that butterfly. I'm just going to adhere this card front onto some craft cardstock. And then I'll just take this over to my paper trimmer and then trim around the edges. So now that my card front is complete, I'm just adhering it onto a white card base. So here's our finished card, and you can see how easy it was just to layer different elements to create a fun and festive card. For my second card, I'm going to be using products from Simple Stories' new Say Cheese collection. And I originally purchased these items to make a Disney album for our family, but I found once I had them in hand that they're actually really nice to use for all sorts of different projects. They have some really nice basic colors, and I think this card would work really well for a birthday card or even a Christmas card. So these are just some different 4x6 cards that come in the set, and I'm going to be using this one that's the black and white polka dots. And as you can see, they fit perfectly inside a 4x6 page protector. So this is just a 6x12 page protector that I trimmed this bottom section off. So 3 of the sides are still sealed, and then 1 of the sides is left open. So I'm just going to go ahead and slide that 4x6 card into this pocket. And now I want to add some confetti elements. So I have some sequins. These are from Jenny Bolin, and they come in black, red, and white in this little pack. So I'm going to just kind of sort through those and use, well, it's actually kind of a cream color. So I'm going to be using the cream and black sequins out of this pack. Just going to place those down into the little pocket. And then Studio Calico has some different sequin sets. This one is from their Magical collection, which is their Christmas collection, and it comes with stars that are red, silver, and gold. So for this project, I'm using just the red and the gold stars just to add a little pop of color in the confetti. And this is some paper. It's from Webster's Pages. It's actually a Christmas paper, but I think that the red chevron is basic enough that you can use it for lots of different types of projects. So I just trimmed that down to size as well, so that it just kind of gives a little bit of contrast and then a little design element that's layered behind. So I'm just adhering my pocket directly onto that pattern paper. And then I just machine stitched a couple of lines there at the top just to make sure that my pocket stayed closed. And then I trimmed the top edge. This is a wood veneer card. It's exclusive to Two Peas in a Bucket. And I thought that the word wish and just the way it looks, it kind of does remind me of a Disney card. So I think this would be fun for maybe a child's birthday, or it could be just for maybe a Christmas wish type of card. So behind the word wish, I'm just using a little bit more of that red chevron pattern paper because I want the word to really stand out. So I'm just going to use my ATG gun and put a little adhesive on the back and then adhere that pattern paper in place. And then for the star, I'm just going to use a little scrap of that doily that we cut off from the first card because I want the star in the middle to be a nice bright gold color to match the stars that are the gold stars that are the confetti that's inside of the pocket already. So now you can see what a difference just layering some paper behind that wood card made. So I'm just using that ATG once again to adhere my card, that wood veneer card down. And the adhesive is really strong on this, so it works really well. This is just some red and white baker's twine that I'm using to just wrap around the card front. So I'm just going to wrap that a few times and then tie it into a bow. So we're nearly finished now. I just need to trim the little tail a bit here on the twine. And this is my card base, so I'm just applying some adhesive. And I want a little bit of the white card base to show through to the front, just to kind of bring out that white polka dot. So I'm adhering that card front up to the very top of that card base so that three sides have a little bit of a white border. And this completes card number 2. For our third and final card, I'm going to be using these 2x2 printables that are found in the 2P's shop. And these were just uploaded just for December. And so I went ahead and cut out a few of the different elements. I like this one on the left because it already has a pre-printed confetti. And this is a piece of paper. It's from Crepe Paper's Close Knit collection. So I'm just going to trim out a little 2x2 section here. So now I have all of the different elements that I want to use for my card front. So we'll be using another page protector for this card, but in this case, this is a 2x2 page protector, and these were actually designed to use with collectible coins. So you might find it when you're searching that way. So right now I'm just kind of placing those little 2x2 elements on top of the page protector to see if I like the arrangement before I go ahead and start putting them in place. So I like the way that looks, and I'm going to go ahead and start sliding those in. So I think this is going to make a really festive New Year's card, and it's super simple to make. These are some stars that I had cut out for my last Trendy Trios project last month. I needed some stars cut out of some black pattern paper, and these are just the leftovers. So I'm using my Xyron sticker machine and just running those through that so that the backs of the stars have some adhesive on them. It just makes it easier to me to adhere them to my project this way if I add the sticker sheet to them. So I'm just kind of eyeballing things and just kind of placing a few of the little star elements here just to kind of dress up this 2x2 square. And usually it seems like embellishments work really well when you have 3 of a kind, so I'm just going to stop there with the 3. I kind of looked around and didn't like the way that it looked when I added more. So I think the 3 that I have there on the bottom will be just fine, and I'll go ahead and add that to that little pocket. This is just some chunky silver glitter, and I like the way that gold and silver look combined. I thought it would look like a good festive card that way, so I'm adding some of that chunky glitter right into that bottom pocket. So I'm just adding a little, kind of looking at things, and then I do add some more here in just a little bit. But right now I'm taking those same stars that we used on our previous project and adding some of the silver stars down into this pocket. So as you can see, I've kind of filled that card up a little bit, and then I used my sewing machine to just make a line of stitching there on the top of that one pocket, just to make sure that the confetti doesn't, and the glitter doesn't come out. And this is from Simple Stories, that same collection that I showed you earlier, and it just has some nice basic colors. So I'm going to be layering both the black and then this mustard color, just to bring out the colors in the card front. So this is the Say Cheese 6x6 pad. And one side of that paper has polka dots and the other stripes, so I was just kind of trying to figure out which one I wanted to use where. So now that I've layered it onto black, I'm going to just do a double border and mat it onto that mustard color. And I've trimmed that out as well, and I'm just adhering that onto a white square card base. And once again, I'm just leaving a little bit of a white border around the edges. So this completes our third and final card. And I just want to thank you for being with me this year at 2Ps and joining along in my Trendy Trios class. I hope you have a great Christmas and a wonderful holiday. For more information on how to create these projects and all of the supplies used, be sure to visit 2psinAbucket.com.